There is a fire inside every person that refuses to stay quiet. A fire that whispers, I was made for more than waiting, more than watching, more than standing back while life keeps moving. Somewhere inside, there's a voice calling you forward, not because everything is perfect, not because you feel ready, but because something in your spirit knows you were built for a bigger stage, a bigger purpose, a bigger fight. Every dreamer knows this tug. Every underdog has felt it. That restless pull that says, let me show what I can do. Give me one chance, one moment, one open door. And today, that voice in you is growing louder. It's getting bolder. It's reaching the point where staying silent feels heavier than stepping up. This is the moment where courage starts speaking louder than fear. Put me in the game, coach. That line has lived in the hearts of so many people who spent years standing off to the side, feeling their potential burning inside them. It's the cry of someone who knows they're capable of more. Someone who sees the struggle, sees the gap, sees the need, and says, I can help. I can contribute. Let me step up. It's the feeling of finally wanting to stop watching life from the sidelines, wanting to step out of waiting mode and into purpose mode. For some, it feels like being the underdog in every movie. The one people overlook, the one who doesn't have the natural advantages, the one who wasn't chosen first. You may not be the tallest, the fastest, or the one gifted with perfect circumstances, but inside you is something many never develop, a burning will. A relentless spirit, a refusal to quit. And that spirit keeps whispering, put me in the game. Because deep down, you know there is a talent within you. Not the kind people measure with trophies, but the kind shaped through endurance, practice, repetition, and determination. You begin to understand that you can grow into excellence if you commit to the process. You can rise in any field if you are willing to stick with it when excitement fades and only discipline remains. That's where extraordinary change begins. In those moments when the work loses its shine, when the routine feels repetitive, when the results are slow. Yet you keep going. You stay in the grind because you know your why. You know what you're building. You know who you're becoming. And when that purpose locks into place, something powerful happens. Your abilities expand. Your capacity strengthens. Your resilience grows sharper. That's why exposing yourself willingly to the challenges you would normally avoid becomes essential. Not because struggle is pleasant, but because overcoming it transforms you. The moment you choose to confront the very things you fear, your strength begins to multiply. Imagine who you could become if, for years, you consistently did the things you knew would shape your future. If you stopped stepping back when discomfort showed up and leaned forward instead. Think about that version of you. Think about the strength they would carry, the confidence they would walk with, the discipline etched into their character. This is why that inner voice matters. That call to perform, that urge to rise. It becomes the anthem for every person who has ever felt overlooked, underestimated, or unseen. Because opportunity rarely knocks twice. Most times it waits for the one who is willing to prepare long before the opening appears. And preparation requires commitment. Waking up early, pushing your body, sharpening your mind, fueling yourself with intention, and training your discipline like a muscle. That is how you earn your place. That is how you claim your moment. That is how you finally step forward and say with absolute certainty, put me in the game. At the end of every day, when the noise finally settles, I sit with myself. I look at my goals, the ones that actually matter, and I remind my mind and my spirit, this is who I'm becoming. Because when you forget who you're becoming, you slip back into who you were. And I refuse to go backwards. We spend so much of our lives running after people, places, and things that never cared about our well-being. We pour out every drop of our energy trying to impress or satisfy people who would not notice if we disappeared tomorrow. And when the truth hits us, it stings. Life is far too short to shrink, too short to suffer silently, too short to stay trapped. Most of the choices we make about 95% of them, come straight from how we feel in a single moment. And that is where the struggle begins. Do you feel like making that tough phone call? No. Do you feel like dragging yourself through that extra set at the gym? No. Do you feel like waking up early when your body wants to negotiate with the alarm? Absolutely not. But here's the shift. You don't have to feel ready to move forward. You don't have to feel bold to act with purpose. You don't have to wait for passion, adrenaline, or inspiration. You simply have to begin, even when the feeling isn't there. Because the moment you start seeing yourself take action, small action, unpopular action, uncomfortable action, something powerful starts growing inside you. You begin developing the skill of confidence, the skill of courage. Those qualities don't drop from the sky. They grow from repeated choices, especially the hard ones. We need excitement for the future. We need something that wakes us up in the morning with a sense of possibility. Life cannot be a chain of problems, one after another, with no light breaking through. No one wants to wake up and feel like every single day is a battlefield. So ask yourself, what inspires you? What stirs your imagination? What pulls you forward when everything around you feels heavy? There has to be something. There always is. When life shakes you, when frustration builds, you have two options. Let it twist you into resentment, bitterness, hopelessness, or recognize that those dark forces are the very things trying to pull you away from your purpose. If you can see that clearly, then you know what you must do. Stay hopeful, stay intentional, stay faithful, even when it makes no sense. That kind of determination is faith. It's choosing to walk uphill even when the path is steep. It's carrying your burdens while refusing to let them define you. It's pushing forward while others tap out. You don't take days off from your calling. You don't take weeks away from your purpose. You keep showing up, especially when others stop. Because if you stay consistent long enough, your habits begin to rewrite your internal programming. They shape your identity. They become part of your nature. What you lacked in natural talent becomes replaced by resilience, commitment, and discipline. Every action becomes automatic, a reflex of excellence. And while others settle, while others choose comfort, while others accept good enough, your persistence pulls you toward greatness. There will be moments when you must step back and analyze yourself. Picture the version of you 1 year from now. Look closely at the patterns that lead to success. Look at the habits that shape your results, and then pull yourself back to the present moment, right here, right now, and ask, am I willing to do what that future version of me requires? If the answer is yes, then count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and push through every excuse trying to chain you to your old ways. That's how you override the system inside your mind that loves comfort and hates change. Because that comfort zone, as warm as it feels, is the place where dreams quietly suffocate. Nothing grows there. Nothing evolves there. Nothing transforms there. We get stuck where life feels easy, where routines are familiar, where we don't have to stretch, think, or struggle. And sometimes when God shakes us, it's because He knows the problem must appear before the breakthrough. The discomfort is not the end, it's the beginning of something greater. Do not quit. Never. When life pushes against you, when winds rise, when pressure mounts, keep moving, keep fighting. Fight through the storm, fight through the pain, fight through every moment that tries to convince you to give up. Because on the other side of that pressure is someone stronger, wiser, tougher, a survivor who refused to break. Every struggle shapes you. Every hardship builds something inside you that comfort never could. You don't walk out of storms the same way you walked in. You walk out with scars that tell the story of a warrior who didn't surrender. And I've learned to appreciate the journey, even the uncomfortable parts. I appreciate the growth. I appreciate the long nights. I appreciate the hours that nobody sees, the sacrifices that no one applauds, the discipline that demands more than convenience. I appreciate the silent battles that turn ordinary people into extraordinary fighters. Everyone wants the success. Everyone wants the reward. But few are willing to embrace what it takes to rise. Many want the crown, yet fear the weight of responsibility. Many want transformation, but avoid the moments that forge greatness. What you want in life is calling you, and the path toward it will require effort, endurance, and a willingness to face every challenge that tries to stand in your way. It is my responsibility to give everything I have. When I commit, it is no longer casual. It becomes a promise to myself, a promise to the people who believe in me, a promise to the future I refuse to abandon. Someone in this world wakes up daily with the mentality of, "Put me in, I'm ready." That coach may be your boss, your opportunity, your purpose, your destiny. When you say, "Put me in," you are declaring that you are prepared to contribute, to excel, to transform. You're saying you bring something meaningful to the table: energy, effort, excellence, determination. Because this journey is about more than the surface level of who you are. It's about the fire within you demanding to grow, demanding expansion, and whatever stands between where you are and where you know you can be. That gap deserves to be closed with everything inside you. Your mindset must reach further than your current comfort. Your vision must be larger than your fears. Your hunger must be greater than your excuses. Lift your head, free from the darkness. Free, because the world doesn't need another person hiding from their potential. The world needs the version of you that rises with power, purpose, and conviction. If this message reached you today, let it awaken something inside you. Let it remind you that your life is still in your hands and your future is still available. You were made for strength. You were built for resilience. You were designed to overcome everything that tries to hold you back. So step forward with courage. Stand tall in your faith. Walk boldly toward the version of yourself that refuses to shrink under pressure. You have more inside you than you realize. More potential, more power, more purpose. This moment is not an ending, it is an invitation to rise again. If this message moved you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it, comment your thoughts, and subscribe so you never miss the encouragement you deserve. Your journey continues, and I'm here to walk with you every step of the way.